Ladies and gentlemen, Americans are hoarding cash. That's right. Americans are now hanging on to their cash as long as possible. And what's the cause of this? The pandemic. Boy, this is probably not good for the economy, but great for your wallet. Okay, so this is the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen. And Americans are hoarding cash because of fatigue and uncertainty, with a little chance the trend will reverse soon. Over the past 2 years, households have socked away close to 1.6 trillion in excess savings or resources they otherwise wouldn't have been able to save before the pandemic. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the funds are well beyond 3 to 6 months of emergency savings generally recommended by financial advisors. Well, guess what? Americans have that now. Many of them do. While the savings rate has dropped back to 2019 levels after 4 consecutive quarters of record high savings, financial advisors, money managers, and economists say Americans are too nervous about potential worst case scenarios to dip into their funds. And now, we know with the new variant around, that threat just makes people, many of them, expect the cash hoarding to continue. I have been one of the more optimistic ones. So this is just an economist talking. So I'm just going to go past that. Hoarding savings can't hurt individuals' long term finances should inflation rise further. And the piling of savings can create bigger problems for an economy in which consumer spending makes up more than 2/3 of its gross domestic product. Yeah, you got businesses that are shorthanded, a supply chain problem, and now people are sitting on their money. They don't want to spend it. Mm-mm-mm. The government also issued 3 rounds of stimulus payments to Americans who qualified. With no end in sight, many Americans kept saving, both as a safety measure and as a result of being stuck at home, leading to the highest personal savings rate since World War II. Well, that probably explains why you can't get people to run out here for these jobs because they're sitting on their money. They got a lot of, they got a lot saved, you know. And I did a story, it probably was back in 2020, where they said most Americans, a lot of Americans, did not even spend up all of their unemployment money. They kept saving it and putting it away so that they did not have to rush out here during a pandemic to go back to work. Hmm. All right. So researchers at the New York Fed said the move happened more mechanically than intentionally. People saved more because they weren't spending as much, not necessarily because they were actively stockpiling money in their reserves. The surge in savings run counter to many other economic factors, given that people historically save more in times of a recession out of fear that their households are being financially affected. This time, there is a hot labor market and rising incomes, but people are still hoarding cash. We see a lot of folks sitting on an incredibly high savings amount, and it's really just a fear factor, said Nina O'Neill, partner and investment advisor with AIM advisors. In 2021, they felt like things were getting better, were going to get better from the pandemic, and they did, but also they didn't. No, they didn't. I don't agree with you. I don't, no, dear. I don't agree with you at all on that statement. It's sort of like the same sideways wind blowing from last year. And so I think people started to spend a little more, but they continue to hold that cash. And yeah, and I don't blame people for doing that. One of the few places Americans have started to spend some money is on smaller items with credit cards. Nearly 27% of US consumers said in October they had applied for credit cards in the past 12 months, according to the New York Fed. All right. I'm waiting to see, y'all, the numbers that come out for Christmas because I don't really think it's going to be all that great, being that you have a supply chain shortage, you had a toy shortage, and so many products are just not available during the big Christmas season shopping. And I have a feeling this is going to be a bad year, for a lot of retailers out here that usually count on this time of the year to make the bulk of their income. They're not going to see that like they did years before. With inflation this high, money sitting in the bank is only losing value. On the other hand, easy to access money gives many people a sense of flexibility and peace of mind, simply knowing they could move quickly should a catastrophe arrive. Y'all, you know what I think? Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming out of this captivity. They're hoarding that money for us. They're hoarding it for us and they don't even know it. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.